Hello, my name is Sarah Kayatsada, and today I will be telling you about citric acid. First off, we're going to be talking about some basic physical characteristics of citric acid. Molecularly, it's composed of 6 carbons, 8 hydrogens, and 7 oxygen molecules. It has a melting point of 153 degrees Celsius or 426.15 Kelvin. When talking about its boiling point, it's important to note that citric acid doesn't boil. Instead, it decomposes and emits acrid smoke and fumes. It's soluble in water, ethanol, and ethyl acetate. However, it's insoluble in benzene and chloroform. Citric acid exists as a weakly acidic solid. It's a colorless, odorless, crystalline solid with an acidic or tart taste. It's also denser than water. Moving on to the basic chemical characteristics, when citric acid is exposed to fire, this will result in melting and decomposition. However, this reaction is not hazardous. Citric acid will corrode copper, zinc, aluminum, and their alloys. It reacts with oxidizing agents, bases, reducing agents, and metal nitrates. Its molecular weight is 192.14, and citric acid is not toxic, but it can be a mild irritant. Now we're going to be talking about citric acid's claim to fame. The first question we have is it used by humans? Absolutely. I'm sure many of us have seen citric acid either in a grocery store aisle or while reading an ingredients label. Regardless, citric acid is something very commonly used by humans. So does citric acid have any benefits? It has an extremely wide variety of uses, such as food flavoring, preservatives, cosmetics, personal care products, medical uses, antioxidant, cleaning products, insecticides, and disinfectants. It's also used to help kill harmful bacteria and infections on the skin, and can also be combined with sodium nitrate and potassium citrate to lower acid levels in the urine to prevent gout attacks. Citric acid does have some drawbacks though. When using citric acid in large amounts, it can cause tooth enamel to dissolve, and some people do experience some side effects after ingestion of synthetic citric acid. Does citric acid belong to a class of molecules? Yes, it belongs to the class of organic compounds known as tricarboxylic acids and derivatives. These acids contain exactly 3 carboxyl groups. Now let's touch on the history and availability of citric acid. It was first isolated by Carl Wilhelm Scheele in 1784 from lemon juice. In 19th century England, industrial production of citric acid began. At that time, they utilized citrus fruits imported from Italy and Sicily. Later, in 1893, German chemist Carl Friedrich Wilhelm Wimmer discovered certain fungi could also produce citric acid from sugar in liquid cultures. This process was refined so well that we still utilize fungi to mass produce citric acid today. Citric acid does indeed come from multiple sources. It's found throughout all human tissues as well as most biofluids such as urine, cerebrospinal fluid, saliva, and breast milk. It exists in all eukaryotes, from yeast to humans. As I mentioned above, citric acid can be isolated from citrus fruits. Most commonly, though, it's created using the fungi Aspergillus niger when it feeds on sugar. After analyzing all of that, it's safe to say that citric acid is definitely not rare and can be found in large amounts everywhere in nature. And where can we purchase citric acid? Well, it's easily available in many grocery stores and craft stores. So, the big question, is citric acid a molecule hero or villain of the year? I'd have to say citric acid is easily molecule hero of the year. It's safe, effective in many applications, easily synthesized, and plentiful in nature. Its wide variety of benefits make citric acid incredibly useful in our day-to-day lives. Additionally, its availability makes it tremendously easy for humans to tap into its benefits and utilize it to its fullest extent. From medical uses to cleaning products to preservatives and antioxidants, we can find it in so many of our products. All in all, citric acid is quite a hero of sorts when it comes down to it. And lastly, this presentation would not have been possible without all of these amazing sources. Thank you so much for coming along this educational journey with me, and I hope you learned something new today.